Hi, everyone. We're here today with Ms. Emily for Lunch Break with the Librarian. And Ms. Emily is one of our children's librarians upstairs in the children's room. So please welcome Ms. Emily. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We're so happy to have you. Will you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yep, so I'm Emily, or Miss Emily if you've met me up here in the children's room. I'm one of the children's librarians here, and actually December will be 3 years that I've been here. I live, with my husband, our 2 dogs and 3 cats, so we have a little bit of a zoo going on. And if that wasn't enough, we're actually getting ready to welcome our first baby in October.
Oh, congratulations. That's exciting.
Yes.
What do you love most about being a librarian?
Well, since I'm up here in the children's room, I really enjoy interacting with the kids and the books in a variety of different ways. It's always fun to locate that book that a kid is looking for. Either they know what they're looking for or they're not quite sure. They can't remember their title, but their friend read it and it had a dragon on the cover. And being able to locate that book that they're looking for, or sometimes didn't even know that they were looking for, and to see that little spark in their face and their eyes when it's like, oh yes, this is great. Like that just is amazing.
Yeah. What did you do before you were a librarian?
I've done a bunch of different things. I worked a couple different types of retail for a while. I was actually a newspaper reporter for a little while. I worked in a family business for a little bit where I made pasta. And I actually, even for a couple of years, worked in a zoo. I didn't get to work with the animals. I worked with the visitors to the zoo, the people. But I did get to know a lot about the animals while I was there. And it was a really fun job.
Very cool. So what drew you to the library?
From the time I was little, like as long as I can remember, I've always loved reading and loved books. I grew up visiting my local libraries all the time. So when the opportunity came up to actually work in a library, it just kind of like clicked and made sense that that's something that I should do and would really enjoy doing. And I do.
Well, we love having you here.
Aw.
What are some of your favorite books?
Probably my all-time favorites, I would have to say, are the Anne of Green Gables series, the Little House on the Prairie series, and probably also Little Women.
Do you have a favorite genre?
I read lots of historical fiction. That's probably what I read the most of, but I do also throw in a lot of like women's fiction, current fiction. I like always, reading some of the new releases. Dystopian novels, I kind of have a thing for them. And lately I've been getting into some memoirs.
Great. So a little bit of everything.
A little bit.
What were some of your favorite books growing up?
Oh, see, it's funny because I don't think I can think of a book that I ever disliked as a kid. But there are a couple that do really sort of stick out. There was a book called Owlie that I really loved. There was a fun little rhyming book called Piggy in the Puddle that I really enjoyed. It's like a huge tongue twister. There was another book that I remember reading over and over again, Gregory the Terrible Eater. And there was also a series at the time, and I think it went out of print in the 80s, called Sweet Pickles. That was a bunch of animals that were doing all of these human things, and I just really loved that series.
It's great how we remember our favorite children's books. Aside from reading, what are your favorite hobbies?
Oh, goodness. So I'm a knitter, so I actually knit a lot. I enjoy traveling, especially to historical places or cultural places, in museums, in particular historical house museums. So I've been to Mount Vernon, where George Washington lived, Monticello, where Thomas Jefferson has lived, plus a whole bunch of others. I do also, I'm a big animal lover too, so I do like places like zoos and aquariums. And I'll also get outside and do some gardens and arboretums and stuff too.
Oh, that's great. If you could live in any book universe, where would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. My gut instinct is probably the Anne of Green Gables series or some sort of Lucy Maud Montgomery, like, I guess it was like early 1900s, I grew up like thinking like, oh, it just seems so idyllic and perfect. And, it wasn't, but, as a kid reading those books in my mind, it just seems so nice to live on Prince Edward Island and, so.
Yeah, beautiful. So, changing topic a little bit, do you have a favorite virtual program that we have done?
So I'm probably going to be selfish and say that it's the circle time that I've been doing. I do a virtual circle time on Tuesday mornings, and I always have fun picking a theme, picking out books and rhymes and stuff to do. But actually going virtual with that program has also given me the chance to start doing some crafts. When we do that program in here in the library, a lot of times there's just too many people, there's too much stuff going on, there's just not enough time to do a craft, and I really enjoy crafting. So now that it's virtual, I can film myself doing the crafts so that the kids can do the crafts at home, and that's been really fun.
Yeah. What are you reading now?
Right now I'm actually reading two things. One is like a purely just for fun read. It's Austenland by Shannon Hale.
Mm-hmm.
And since, like I said, I am having my first baby really soon, I've been reading lots of different nonfiction parenting books.
Oh, I'm sure. Definitely reading up on that.
Yes.
What advice would you give someone who wants to be a librarian?
Read like everything and anything. Read about books. Like don't just read books, read about books, read news about books, read about libraries, because there's lots of interesting articles and things always going on in all of the different libraries, like across the country. And read about authors. Like, it's really important, I think, to know a little bit about what's going on in the world of like authors and what are they doing and what are they talking about and what do they think is important. So just, yeah, I would just say keep reading and read everything.
Definitely. That's great advice. What do you like about serving the patrons in this community?
Everybody is so nice and wonderful. I've really, over the past couple of years, really enjoyed getting to know everybody in our community and making friends with, not making friends, yeah, but getting to know, the kids who come up regularly, as well as their parents. It's nice to see them. Everybody kind of has their own reasons for coming to the library, and I like learning, okay, well, what is it that you need today, and how can I help you meet your needs? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Well, Miss Emily, thank you so much for being here with us today. It was great getting to know you a little bit more. And thank you so much for answering our questions. Anything else that you'd like to share with our community?
I don't think so. Just, I'm up here. If you have questions, always come and ask.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great having you today. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you again for Lunchtime with the Librarian. Bye.